Well, good day, everybody. It is currently the 29th of January, 2014. And, well, the main topics out here today are pretty noticeable on our daily satellite analysis. We have a developing low pressure system over eastern China, bringing some rain showers there, and that's eventually going to bring those showers over towards western Japan. A cold front now moving away. Warming trend out ahead of that, but what we are seeing in the big topic today is out here towards the southeast, our developing tropical depression, and a lot of people out here in the Philippines definitely worried about it. Right now, you are getting the northeast monsoon, and it's much drier air, and most of the tropics, for that matter, have an abundance of dry air, as you can see here on the satellite picture. Just pushing in from the northeast towards the southwest is that cooler air. But the thing is, well, our storm system farther off here towards the east, and it really is wrapping up rather nicely today, or bad. It depends on your view of it right now. But yeah, it's getting much more organized is what I'm trying to say, and it's pushing farther off here towards the west. At this time, already seeing these rain showers across parts of the Micronesian islands out here, and well, this area getting up to about 25 degrees today, but rain showers in the forecast. Also, Guam, you're continuing to see some showers out of this farther back here towards the east, and that's going to be the case at least going through the next 24 to 48 hours as this does track farther towards the west. Or actually, about the next 24 hours there for you in Guam. On Thursday, it should be tapering off. Same thing farther here. And then even out there towards Palau, you're going to see some showers kick in. And if we take a look at current satellite imagery, you can also see where these heaviest showers are occurring at this time. But the other thing about this visible imagery, you can really see a clear indication of that low-level circulation here towards the south of Guam, towards the east of Yap. It's right in there, and it's fairly exposed. So, yeah, right now we are starting to see some pretty good circulation around it. That low-level center definitely starting to wind up. But the good news, vertical wind shear coming in from the east on this storm system is, well, relatively high. It's knocking over a lot of these cloud tops. And when you get that happening, well, you get that vertical shear setting in, and it causes the storm to stay relatively weaker. And what I mean by that is don't expect this to get up to a typhoon intensity. Usually when you have something over 15 to 20 knots of shear, which on the northern periphery we're seeing shear up to about 30 to 40 knots, and it's not going in a favorable environment at all over the next several days, you typically don't get anything stronger than a tropical storm. You're still going to be looking at some pretty gusty winds out here and some heavy rain, though. So I'm saying that with some caution because, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be getting up to typhoon intensity, but I think we are still going to be seeing some pretty foul weather here by the weekend. So at this time, fairly disorganized as far as that vertical wind shear. Low-level circulation is starting to get better, though. And what we're also seeing is a slightly intensification. So thinking weak tropical storm max intensity on this. Where exactly is it going to be going, though? That's the big question a lot of people want to ask. And what are the impacts going to be when it gets there? Well, right now we do have our high pressure farther off here towards the north. We know that storms don't like to go towards high pressure. It's a common fact. So this is going to want to stay on the southern periphery of that. What I am seeing, though, is this high dipping a little bit farther towards the south. So as far as the center of circulation, I do think it's going to be somewhere over northern Mindanao, much like what we saw with Agatan or Ling Ling, whatever name you want to call it. It's much like that. The only difference is I think this is going to continue to move west, so we're not going to see it linger over an extended period of time. But as far as it coming on shore right in that area, yeah, it's probably going to be there. And much like what we saw with Agatan, the center is going to be down here towards the south, but the worst of the weather still likely will be off here towards the north due to that vertical wind shear knocking a lot of the cloud cover off there on the northern periphery. That's where the heaviest rains are going to be, is right in this area. So, yeah, these areas that were just hit not just 2 weeks ago by heavy rain and still recovering from a high end. It does look like another shot of some pretty foul weather. We're talking about thunderstorms, heavy rainfall, the risk of flooding, and even landslides here on Friday as our storm system starts to come on shore. Let's zoom in on one of these models. Let's take a look at the GFS. And right now we're actually looking at the precip forecast for right around Friday evening. Let's pull up some of the cities on this as well so you can see the exact locations. But yeah, right here about Friday evening, heaviest rainfall there in northern Mindanao starting to work its way into eastern portions of the size. Scroll ahead just about shoot, about 12 hours, and this continues to pull west across the southern portions of Visayas and northern Mindanao, bringing just a heavy rainfall with it. But once again, the other threat, though, is still going to be these winds. Gale force winds extending up and down the eastern seaboards of Luzon, not just on Friday and Saturday. I think if we go backwards, let's go back about 24 hours, back to about Thursday night. We're already starting to see these winds kick in, and that's definitely going to bring some high waves along with it, 4 to 5 meters high, very well possible. So what we saw with the last storm was people going out amidst the storm, boats capsizing and lives being lost, and that's always a problem here. And we even wrote an article about it. Do go to the website and check it out, about 9 men that went out during the storm and their boat capsized. One of them died, and the other 8, just a nightmarish situation where they were stuck out here east of Mindanao for several days until being picked up. So please do be smart about it and don't do anything like that. Even travel by ferry across some of these areas, especially on Friday and Saturday, is still going to be pretty rough, even into the inland areas. But the winds are one thing, the rains are another. This is a 72-hour rainfall accumulation, basically extending out through Friday into early Saturday morning. You can see some areas 100 to 200 millimeters across these regions that were just hit, including Cagayan, south of Tacloban, north of Davao. I don't think you're going to see too much rainfall from this due to that center of circulation being north of there, and a lot of that dry air is wrapping it around the center. Also, the vertical wind shear knocking a lot of that cloud tops off. So that's a good news for you. Cebu, you could also be looking at some pretty heavy showers, especially by the time Saturday rolls around. So yeah, that's what we got on the storm system right now, everybody, and we're going to continue to watch it. The good news as well is by early next week, I expect this to completely fade off the map. It's not going to linger for a long period of time. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, though, you can always post them down there in the comment box below. Also, please do go check out the website. Lots of new features have been added. Everything that was used in this video update today can either be found at the site, or we have a link that'll take you to it from the site. So please do go check out westpacweather.com. And as always, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.